What if I told you that tonight, before you go to sleep, you could drink something simple? Something you can prepare in your own kitchen in less than 5 minutes. And it could begin helping your blood pressure move in a healthier direction while you rest. I know that might sound almost unbelievable. You've probably heard countless claims about blood pressure, endless supplements, miracle remedies, and quick fixes that promise results but rarely deliver. But stay with me for a moment, because what I'm about to explain is not another internet trend or passing health fad. The information I'm sharing today comes from scientific research and clinical studies, and these are drinks that many healthcare professionals recommend to people dealing with high blood pressure. If this is your first time here, welcome. On this channel, we focus on practical health information, real strategies, and realistic habits that people can actually use in daily life. And if you've been here before, welcome back. You already know the goal here is to keep things simple, honest, and helpful. Before we talk about these 3 nighttime drinks, there's something important you should understand. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer, and there is a very real reason for that name. Many people who have it feel completely normal. They go through their daily routines without any obvious symptoms, while at the same time, their arteries are under constant strain. The heart works harder than it should, and the risk of serious problems like heart attack, stroke, kidney damage, or vision loss gradually increases. According to global health statistics, roughly 1.3 billion people worldwide are living with high blood pressure. A large portion of those individuals either don't know they have it or are not managing it effectively. That number is staggering. What makes the situation even more concerning is that many cases could improve significantly with the right lifestyle adjustments. In some situations, blood pressure can even move back toward healthier ranges when consistent habits are put in place. And those habits include what you choose to drink before bedtime. Now, let me make something very clear, because responsible health advice always comes first. Nothing in this discussion is meant to replace your doctor's instructions. If you have been prescribed medication for blood pressure, you should continue following your treatment plan. The drinks we're discussing today are meant to support your overall routine, not replace professional medical care. That said, there are simple things you can do at home that may help your body regulate blood pressure more effectively. Surprisingly, one of the most overlooked strategies involves what you consume during the final hour before going to sleep. Why focus on bedtime? That's an excellent question. Your body performs most of its repair and recovery processes while you sleep. During deep sleep, your cardiovascular system, nervous system, and hormone levels all begin adjusting and restoring balance. When you provide beneficial nutrients right before this recovery phase begins, you give your body the tools it needs to support those natural repair processes. Think of it like fueling a car before a long trip. You want the tank filled before the journey begins, not halfway through. In the same way, providing the right nutrients before sleep allows them to circulate in your system while your body enters its most restorative stage. So let's start with the first bedtime drink. This one might surprise you because it's something many people overlook entirely. The first drink is Tart cherry juice. Now, this isn't the sweet cherry juice you typically see in the regular juice section of the grocery store. The version we're talking about is 100% pure Tart cherry juice, sometimes labeled as Montmorency cherry juice. This particular type has been studied quite extensively, and the findings are genuinely impressive. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly drank Tart cherry juice experienced noticeable reductions in systolic blood pressure, the top number in a blood pressure reading. These were measurable changes, not just minor fluctuations. So why does it work? One major reason is that tart cherries are rich in anthocyanins, natural plant compounds responsible for their deep red color. These compounds act as powerful vasodilators. In simple terms, they help blood vessels relax and widen. When blood vessels are relaxed and open, blood flows more easily through them. That reduces pressure against the arterial walls. And when that pressure decreases, blood pressure numbers often follow, but the benefits don't stop there. Tart cherry juice is also one of the few natural foods that contains melatonin. Most people know melatonin as the hormone that helps regulate sleep cycles. It helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. However, melatonin also plays an important role in cardiovascular health. Studies suggest that melatonin can help reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels, support the health of the endothelial lining inside arteries, and contribute to healthier nighttime blood pressure patterns. In healthy individuals, blood pressure naturally drops during sleep, typically by about 10 to 20%. This is known as the nocturnal dip, and it's a sign that the cardiovascular system is functioning properly. Unfortunately, many people with high blood pressure don't experience this natural dip. Their blood pressure remains elevated even while sleeping, which keeps the heart and blood vessels under constant strain. Because tart cherry juice contains both melatonin and vasodilating anthocyanins, it may help support the body's ability to restore that natural nighttime drop in blood pressure. So how should you use it? About 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, drink around 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened tart cherry juice. Make sure there is no added sugar, because extra sugar can interfere with the benefits. If the flavor feels too strong or sour, you can dilute it with a little water. Many people find that mixing it with about 4 ounces of water makes it much easier to drink. The most important factor is consistency. Drinking it once won't magically transform your blood pressure overnight. But when it becomes part of a regular nightly routine for several weeks, many people begin to notice meaningful improvements in their readings. Another benefit worth mentioning is its anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation plays a role in many long-term health conditions, including cardiovascular disease, joint problems, metabolic issues, and more. By reducing inflammation, tart cherry juice may support overall health in several ways at once. When a natural food provides multiple benefits with very few downsides, it becomes a simple and practical habit worth considering. Now let's move on to the second bedtime drink, a traditional remedy that has been used for centuries and is now gaining strong support from modern scientific research. The second drink is hibiscus tea. If you've never tried hibiscus tea before, you might be surprised by how enjoyable it is. This tea is made from the dried petals of the Hibiscus sabdariffa plant. It has a deep ruby red color and a naturally tangy flavor that many people say tastes similar to cranberry. Beyond its refreshing taste, hibiscus tea has earned a reputation as one of the most effective natural drinks for supporting healthy blood pressure levels. But now let's look at the science, because that's what truly matters. A major study published in the Journal of Nutrition discovered that people who drank 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily experienced an average drop of 7 points in systolic blood pressure compared with those who received a placebo. 7 points might not seem dramatic at first, but let me explain why it matters. A decrease of 7 points in systolic blood pressure is linked to a meaningful reduction in the risk of stroke and heart attack. Research shows that even a 5-point drop in systolic pressure can lower the risk of stroke by around 14% and coronary heart disease by about 9%. So when we're talking about a 7-point average reduction from simply drinking tea, That's medically significant. Those are the kinds of results that get cardiologists paying attention. So how does hibiscus tea actually work? It operates through several different mechanisms. First, hibiscus acts as a natural ACE inhibitor. If you take blood pressure medication, that term might sound familiar. ACE inhibitors are among the most commonly prescribed medications for hypertension. ACE stands for angiotensin-converting enzyme, which plays a major role in the hormonal system that controls blood pressure. When this enzyme is active, it causes blood vessels to tighten and encourages fluid retention, both of which raise blood pressure. ACE-inhibiting medications block this enzyme. Interestingly, hibiscus tea contains natural compounds that work in a similar way. They're not as powerful as prescription drugs, of course, but they can still create a measurable clinical effect. One of the advantages is that hibiscus tea can provide this benefit without many of the side effects people often experience with pharmaceutical ACE inhibitors, such as persistent dry cough, dizziness, or elevated potassium levels. The second reason hibiscus tea helps is because it acts as a natural diuretic. In simple terms, it helps your body remove excess sodium and water through urine. This is important because too much sodium and fluid in the bloodstream is one of the main causes of high blood pressure. When there's too much fluid moving through your circulatory system, it's like forcing extra water through a garden hose. The pressure increases. By gently helping the body eliminate extra sodium and fluid, hibiscus tea lowers overall fluid volume, which helps reduce blood pressure. Unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, which can sometimes lead to dehydration or electrolyte imbalances, the diuretic effect of hibiscus tea tends to be milder and more balanced. Third, hibiscus tea is extremely rich in antioxidants, especially polyphenols and flavonoids. These antioxidants help protect the delicate lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage. When blood vessel walls are harmed by free radicals and oxidative stress, they can become stiff, inflamed, and less responsive. This is one of the processes behind atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque inside the arteries. By protecting the blood vessels from this damage, hibiscus tea helps them stay flexible and elastic, which is essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure. Now let me share my recommendation for using hibiscus tea as a bedtime drink. About 45 minutes to an hour before going to bed, steep 1 or 2 hibiscus tea bags, or about 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried hibiscus petals, in a cup of hot water for roughly 5 to 10 minutes. The longer it steeps, the stronger the flavor, and the more beneficial compounds are released into the tea. If the taste feels a little too tart, you can add a small squeeze of fresh lemon juice or a light drizzle of raw honey. Just be careful with the honey because we don't want to consume too much sugar before bedtime. It's also important to mention that hibiscus tea may interact with certain medications, particularly blood pressure medicines or diuretics. The combined effect could lower blood pressure too much, which might lead to dizziness or lightheadedness. So if you're currently taking medication, it's always wise to consult your doctor before adding hibiscus tea to your routine. Being cautious and informed is always the best approach. I'd also like to share a personal experience. Over the years, I've recommended hibiscus tea to many of my patients, and the feedback has consistently been very positive. I remember one patient in her early 60s who had struggled with borderline high blood pressure for several years. She hoped to avoid medication if possible, so we focused on diet and lifestyle improvements. When I suggested adding hibiscus tea to her evening routine, she was skeptical at first. It sounded too simple to make a real difference, but she decided to give it a try. She drank it every night for about 6 weeks, and when she returned for her follow-up visit, her systolic blood pressure had dropped by 12 points. 12 points! She was thrilled, and honestly, so was I. Now, will everyone experience that kind of result? I can't promise that. Every person's body is different, and blood pressure is influenced by many factors. But it clearly demonstrates the potential of simple, natural strategies when they're applied consistently. So far, we've talked about tart cherry juice and hibiscus tea, and both are excellent choices. But the third bedtime drink I want to share might actually be the most accessible of all. It's something many people already have in their kitchen, yet very few think about using it to support healthy blood pressure. The third drink is warm milk with a pinch of turmeric, often called golden milk. Now, some of you might be thinking, milk? That's the big secret? But stay with me, because there's solid science behind this combination, and together these ingredients can be very beneficial for cardiovascular health. Let's start with the milk. Milk, particularly low-fat or skim milk, contains several nutrients that help regulate blood pressure. The most important ones are calcium, potassium, and magnesium. These three minerals work together to control the contraction and relaxation of the blood vessel walls. Calcium helps blood vessels tighten and relax when necessary. Potassium helps balance the effects of sodium, which, as we discussed earlier, is one of the major contributors to high blood pressure. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, allowing the smooth muscles in the blood vessel walls to relax. In fact, many prescription blood pressure medications are calcium channel blockers, and magnesium performs a similar function naturally. A study published in the American College of Nutrition found that adequate calcium intake from dairy products was associated with a lower risk of developing hypertension. Additionally, the DASH diet, one of the most researched and widely recommended diets for lowering blood pressure, specifically includes 2 to 3 servings of low-fat dairy each day. So milk isn't simply acting as a carrier for turmeric. It actively contributes to blood pressure support. Now let's discuss turmeric, which is where things become especially interesting. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin. Over the past 2 decades, curcumin has been the focus of thousands of scientific studies. It's one of the most researched natural compounds in the world, largely because of its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation plays a significant role in cardiovascular disease and high blood pressure. When blood vessels become inflamed, they tend to stiffen and resist blood flow, which increases pressure. Curcumin helps reduce this inflammation by blocking several inflammatory pathways in the body, including NF-κB, often referred to as the master switch of inflammation. But curcumin does more than reduce inflammation. It also improves endothelial function. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells that lines the inside of blood vessels and plays a crucial role in regulating blood pressure. It produces nitric oxide, a molecule that signals blood vessels to relax and widen. When endothelial function declines, nitric oxide production decreases, causing blood vessels to become tighter and less flexible. Research shows that curcumin can improve endothelial function and increase nitric oxide production, directly supporting healthier blood pressure. One study published in Nutrition Research even found that curcumin supplementation improved endothelial function to a level comparable with moderate aerobic exercise. Let me repeat that because it's remarkable. Curcumin improved blood vessel function as much as moderate exercise. Of course, that doesn't mean exercise should be replaced. Physical activity is essential for overall health, but it highlights how powerful curcumin can be. Here's how to prepare this golden milk bedtime drink. Start with about 8 ounces of warm milk. Low-fat or skim milk is a good option, But if you're dairy-free, you can use unsweetened almond milk or oat milk. Warm it until it's hot but not boiling. Then add about half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric and stir thoroughly. There's an important tip most people don't know. Curcumin on its own isn't absorbed very well by the body. Its bioavailability is quite low, but there's a simple trick to dramatically improve absorption. Add a tiny pinch of black pepper. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Yes, 2,000%. That small pinch can make a huge difference in how much benefit your body receives. You can also add a pinch of cinnamon for extra flavor. Cinnamon itself may provide additional benefits for blood sugar and blood pressure, making it a nice bonus. Drink this about 30 minutes before bedtime. The warmth of the milk can help relax the body and prepare you for sleep, which is an added advantage because good sleep is essential for healthy blood pressure. When sleep quality is poor, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated, and those hormones can increase blood pressure. Anything that improves sleep can indirectly support blood pressure control. Golden milk works in 2 ways. It provides beneficial nutrients from the milk and curcumin, while also helping your body relax and sleep better. Before we finish, I want to talk briefly about consistency and realistic expectations. The title of this video mentions lowering blood pressure instantly, and I want to clarify what that really means. These drinks can begin affecting your body from the very first night. The vasodilating effects of anthocyanins in tart cherry juice, the ACE-inhibiting properties of hibiscus, the mineral support from milk, and the anti-inflammatory effects of curcumin all start working relatively quickly. Some studies have shown measurable changes in blood pressure within just a few hours after consumption. However, the most meaningful results, the ones that truly improve long-term heart health and reduce the risk of heart attack or stroke, come from consistency. Think of it like exercise. Going to the gym once makes you feel good that day, but exercising regularly for months transforms your body. The same principle applies here. 1 night of hibiscus tea can help, but 60 nights of consistent use could potentially be life-changing. It's also important to remember that these drinks work best as part of a broader approach to managing blood pressure. They're not magic solutions that will fix everything while unhealthy habits continue. For the best results, combine them with a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Reduce sodium intake, stay physically active. Even a simple 30-minute walk each day can make a big difference. And manage stress through techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or spending time outdoors. And of course, continue regular checkups with your doctor and follow professional medical advice. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Your health is your greatest asset. It's more valuable than your home, your car, or the money in your bank account. Without good health, none of those things truly matter. The encouraging news is that blood pressure is one of the areas of health that responds very well to positive lifestyle changes. Your body naturally wants to be healthy, and when you give it the right support, it often responds in remarkable ways. These 3 bedtime drinks are just one piece of the overall puzzle, but they're a powerful and incredibly simple step you can take. So here's my challenge for you tonight. Choose one of these drinks: tart cherry juice, hibiscus tea, or golden milk with turmeric, and try it before bed. Then repeat it tomorrow night and the night after that. Stick with it consistently for 4 to 6 weeks, and monitor your blood pressure. You might be pleasantly surprised by the results. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to click the like button. It helps more people discover this information, and millions of individuals around the world are struggling with high blood pressure. Also consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. There's so much more to share about natural health strategies, nutrition, fitness, and disease prevention. And if you've tried any of these drinks or have questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I read as many comments as I can, and I truly enjoy hearing your experiences. This is Melanie Sander, reminding you that small changes, practiced consistently, can lead to extraordinary results. Take care of your body, protect your heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy, my friends.